I just wanted to update you guys on my GLP-1 journey, where I'm at currently, where I have been, and where I hope to go. So stay tuned. My why is pulling that old me that I see in somebody else, wrapping my arms around them virtually, and pulling them up and helping them on their journey. Welcome, guys. My name is Patrice, The.Patrice.Denise. I'm over here living a healthy, sustainable life, one day at a time, one step at a time. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you would like, you can become a wellness warrior. Over here on this channel, we are moving forward with conquering, being victorious over any health challenges that may come our way, doing our due diligence to educate ourselves, to advocate for ourselves, to just live a life that is sustainable to manage and overcome health challenges, situations, things that can try to overtake our health and wellness one day at a time, one step at a time. All right, so it's been a while. It's been a while since I have updated you guys on my Mounjaro journey. Down below is a playlist of my Mounjaro journey. But let's just look back, because sometimes you got to reflect back just to see where you've been. And then you have to look at where you're at now in order to help you to see where you would like to go in the future. So let's just do that. Stick with me for a while. Like I said, if you wanted to see the whole journey, I'm just going to tell you it here, sum it up here real quick for you. But if you want to see the whole journey, you can go back to the playlist and start from the beginning if you would like, and just follow along with me. But here I am today. Today is actually September the 19th, 2025. Just to put things in perspective. Where I started. So, back when I was in kindergarten. No. No, but so back in 2022. We're talking about Mounjaro right now, but back in 2022, I did the research and then went to my provider, and I mentioned to him that I wanted to start this medication called Mounjaro because I've been researching. I was on Ozempic at that time, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I was on Ozempic at the time, and I wanted to switch over to this medication because I heard that it was doing well for others in the weight loss area specifically. So at that time, I had already been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Like I said, I was on Ozempic. I was on Ozempic starting in mid 2020-ish. I be honest, if you know me, I like to, be honest with that back history of it all. I was not documenting. I was not keeping up with myself around the time when I was on Ozempic. I did not attribute being on Ozempic with losing weight at all. At all. I had not heard anything about losing weight on Ozempic at that time when I was on it. And until the end. And I was like, when I started hearing about it, and this was now moving up to 2022. So like I said, I was Ozempic back in 2020. At that time, my A1C was as high as a 13. When I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, my A1C was high as a 13. And at that time, I was a registered nurse. But guess what? I was not taking care of myself. I was taking care of others and be putting others first. And I'm not going to get off on a tangent. I got my notes here. I got my notes here because I am trying not to get off on a tangent, but you got to take care of yourself first. You got to take care. You can do everything else for everybody else, but you got to take care of yourself first. Okay, back to the program. But I was, my A1C was as high as a 13. I was on Ozempic. I got my A1C down to a 10. And then I was able to get my A1C down to a 6.2 being on Ozempic and also doing other programs. I was on a program called E2M, and that definitely helped as well with my eating habits. But putting others first, I was not eating healthy at all. But we're not going to veer off onto that right now. We're not. We'll talk about that in another video on putting yourself first and how it relates to your health. Definitely stay tuned for a video. Let me write that down. Putting yourself first and how it relates to a GLP-1. Thank you, Lord. Back to this. So, like I said, 2022, I started on Mounjaro. I started my first injection of Mounjaro. I remember it. I remember the day. It was November 30th of 2022. At that time, I did not weigh myself that day or that day before or anything like that. I weighed myself the day after. because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start documenting this. So I weighed myself the day after, December 1st of 2022. I weighed myself and I was at 194.4 pounds. Now, previously on Ozempic, I had got up to, well, before Ozempic and before trying to take control of my health and do better for myself, I can remember vaguely that I was as high after pregnancies and things like that. I was as high as 215. I probably was bigger than that or weighed more than that, but actually documenting it and actually holding myself accountable for that weight and attributing that weight to myself, I know I was probably around 230s, probably 230s. And then I started to try to lose some weight. And my A1C, I remember I had my A1C drawn in October, because that's when I said in the fall, I went to ask my doctor to prescribe the Mounjaro or change me from Ozempic. Really what it was is I tried to get Ozempic. But Ozempic was nowhere to be found, because at that time then everybody was like, oh, Ozempic is working for weight loss, and so it was nowhere to be found, which I'm not mad about at all. I said I'll just go with the I don't get mad at things like that. I just go try to find something else or do whatever else I can do for myself. But I was like, where's all the Ozempic? Okay, if I can't find the Ozempic, let me switch to this new thing, which is Mounjaro. So I tried to get on Ozempic 2 milligrams. So I was at 1 milligram. That's the highest I got on with Ozempic. And from 1 milligram, you go to 2 milligrams. I tried to get on 2 milligrams, but it was nowhere to be found. So I switched to Mounjaro. Back to Mounjaro. My A1C, I remember, like I said, was 5.9 back in October of 2022. And then I started my Mounjaro journey. Lord, we are into this video already, and I'm just getting to the start of my Mounjaro journey. I can talk, but Mounjaro. So I started on, like everybody else, 2.5. I did that for 4 weeks, went to 5 milligrams after the 2.5, stayed on 5 milligrams for 6 months. Then I tried to titrate up to 7.5. 7.5 was so strong for me. I only stayed on it for 3 weeks at that time. I was not able to eat because I was doing the 7.5 every week, and I was not able to eat, and I didn't like that. It's a video. If I can find that video, I'll link that down below. But like I said, my Mounjaro playlist is linked down below. But I could not eat when I was on 7.5, and I did not like that. So I got back on 5 milligrams after the 3 weeks of being on 7.5, and I stayed on 5 milligrams for the rest of my first year of Mounjaro. And leading up to my 1 year mark on Mounjaro, the cost of my Mounjaro injections went up. So at first I was paying with a coupon like $25 and $100 and something dollars. Then it went up. It skyrocketed up, and that was probably because my insurance, the insurance that I was on for my job at that time, I know that's what it was, but it went up. So what I did is, after my 1 year anniversary on Mounjaro, around that time, I went back to 7.5 milligrams. And my thought process was, at that time, I can go to 7, I can maintain, because I had already lost the weight. So my weight, like I said at the beginning, I'm all over the place, sorry, was 194.4. And I was able to get to my goal, to where I wanted to be was at under 160 by the end of 2023. Well, I didn't get it right then and there. At the end of 2023, I got under 160. I got to 159 point something at the beginning of January 2024. So I have been maintaining. We'll get to my weight. I'm all over the place. See, I got notes and I'm still all over the place. But I went to 7.5 milligrams every 2 weeks, starting in, it was December of 2023. I started using 7.5 milligrams every 2 weeks. And like I said, today is September 19th of 2025, and I have been doing that ever since. So over a year, or almost 2 years with maintaining every 2 weeks with my injection. And how's it going? So where am I at right now? Like I said, I'm maintaining on 7.5 milligrams. My A1C, the last check I had, my A1C in June was 5.4. So my A1C with Mounjaro staying at, like I said, the highest I've ever been on was 7.5. So staying at that dose, my A1C has stayed at about 5.4. One time I had it checked and it was 5.2. But other than that, my A1C has been around the same range, and I'm okay with that. It's right under the pre-diabetic range, and I'm okay with that. Now, do I want better? You can always want better. Yes, you can always want better. And if my A1C trends downward, then great. But where it's at right now, I'm not fretting over it. During my Mounjaro journey, where I was documenting every week my weekly updates, you could see throughout 2023, the whole year, I tracked my fasting blood sugar using my glucometer in the morning and getting my fasting blood sugar, as well as I did dibble into using a CGM, and I would track my glucose levels every morning to kind of get an idea of where I was at with my blood sugars. So I'm comfortable with my fasting blood sugar. I'm comfortable with my A1C. I do check it periodically here and there. Right now, definitely I know we are too far into this video, but I'm not a doctor, pharmacist, or healthcare provider. I'm just someone. I'm not your healthcare provider. I am a nurse. Like I said, a registered nurse. But I am not your registered nurse. So definitely check with your doctor before making any changes to your plan of care. I know we are too far in the video for that to be saying that, but if you're here, yes. So I did check my blood sugars then, but now I check it periodically. As for my weight, like I said, reached my goal weight back in January of 2024. I was at 159. I have maintained being in between 160 and 170 since then. So now, like I said, we are September 2025. So I have maintained that weight for the last year, almost 2 years. Last year, at the end of 2023, that would be 2024. At the end of 2024, I did get back down to 159. I did a little challenge with myself and got back down to 159. So I've been kind of hanging around that range here for the last year and a half. Right now, actually today, where's my phone? Today, I didn't weigh myself today. In a vlog, I just showed it. I do vlogs too. We'll talk about that. But I weighed myself yesterday. So yesterday on my Renfo app, my weight was, can y'all see that? 163.2. 163.2. So that's my weight right now. I'm doing fine with maintaining at that weight. What I do is I do incorporate exercise. So we can talk about that. I walk 45 minutes. I bumped it up. I used to walk 30 minutes a day, 4 to 5 times a week. Right now, I am doing a 75-day health, wellness, and spiritual growth challenge. So I have been walking 45 minutes, at least 45 minutes every day throughout the 75 days. I'm on day 68 right now. And there has been, I would say, 3, if I can, off the top of my head, 3 days that I did not walk for 45 minutes or do cardio for 45 minutes. As what I also do is I strength train, and I do that 2 to 3 times a week. 2 times formally with my girlfriends at a local gym. I might go to another gym on my own, or I might do something at home. But on average, now every week is not perfect, right? Nothing is perfect. That's a whole nother video. But every week, on average, I do 2 to 3 days of strength training, or 2 to 3 sessions, of strength training just to build muscle. I recently did a video on preserving muscle mass on a GLP-1, so you can check that out as well if you would like. But so those 2 things have helped with me maintaining my weight, and also my nutrition. So my nutrition, I focus on, of course, the proteins, the healthy fats, and I look at and monitor my carbs. Now, my overall diet plan or nutrition plan, do not have a formal plan at all. Now, throughout my first year on Mounjaro, when I was actively trying to lose weight, meal prepping did help me a lot during that time. But even then, I did not have a formal nutrition plan. I can't even tell you what my nutrition plan is. Now, what I do know is that it's something sustainable because I have been able to sustain it. So I like to draw back on things that are simple. If you watch my vlogs, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to cook. My husband, we go at it all the time because he loves cooking and he knows how to cook and he takes cooking seriously. So I'm like, you cook. So my nutrition plan, I like things simple. One of my meals, and there's controversy around that because I love sweet potatoes. I love them. I'm a diabetic. Well, okay. My A1C is at an appropriate level. However, I do have the diagnosis of diabetes, but my A1C is at an appropriate level. So, but being that I love sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes, and right now I am into this kick where I'm eating ground turkey with a bowl with spinach sauteed in the ground turkey, and I have a sweet potato, and I have cottage cheese. I put a little bit of honey and hot sauce on top, or the hot honey sauce. Yep, not honey, hot honey. Yeah, hot honey sauce. Yes, but I just do honey and hot sauce. I just do both, and then avocado. Look at there, that perfect protein, fat, and carb meal right there. But I love it. So just finding something that works for you is what I would say with nutrition. We'll talk about that too. That's another video I want to talk about. What do you eat on a GLP-1? We'll talk about that too. But right now, that's what I've been doing. Just keeping it simple. Keeping it simple. I love. This is something that has worked for me. Smoothies. In the morning, I love a protein smoothie in the morning. My mornings are jam packed because, especially during the school times, we're getting the kids ready. So I love to indulge in that. I make a nice little spinach with protein. What is it called? Protein powder, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, flax seeds, some type of fruit or not vegetable because I got the spinach or kale in there. But I like to do a little green smoothie. I've been doing that, and if you watch my vlogs back in 2023, you would know that I've been doing that since then, and that's just been working for me. But nutrition is important. So I would implore you. I would highly suggest that you get into a nutrition plan that works for you. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And it's something that you can be consistent with. That's what's important. Something you can be consistent with. I did dibble and dabble into tracking. I did dabble and dabble into that. And here now I do dibble and dabble into it still. But it's not something that I do consistent, just to be honest. It's not something that I do consistent. Never have, and probably never will. But I do dibble and dabble in it. So to sum it up, where am I at today? Well, I am still on, like I said, 7.5 milligrams of Mounjaro. I take it twice a month, bi-weekly basically. And I do it on Sundays, evenings. And where do I inject? Well, I inject in my arm. It just depends on what I have. If I have my night clothes on, I inject in my arm because I don't want to pull up my, what do you call it, a moo-moo? I don't want to pull my moo-moo all the way up. But I inject in my arm. Now, if I have on a shirt and the pants, I'll inject in my stomach. So it depends on what I have on. That's where my injection site will be for that week. So, but my A1C is holding steady. Like I said, I feel good. And right now, I'm in the journey of bettering myself overall while still on this journey. So you'll definitely see vlogs of me. So if you're interested in vlogs, you can check those out. So where am I going at? What's my journey? Well, I'm going to continue to maintain. And continue to do what is ideal for me with my lifestyle that I have and how I want to remain consistent with it. I'm going to continue to do, like I said, what works for me. My nutrition plan is going to still be the same. I dibble and dabble. I like to try different foods. I'm not shy with that, but I always kind of go back to my tried and true all the time. I fall back on that, as you see in many of my vlogs. But I'm just here for the long haul. I'm not trying to chase perfection anymore. I'm just remaining consistent. And I believe that's what it's all about. I'm reaching for balance, consistency, grace along the way, but also remembering my why. Here today, and this is if you're here this long and you're okay with me getting on my soapbox, so thank you. Did you hit the subscribe button? But if you're here right now, then you're okay with me rambling. So today, my why. My why is my family. My why is inspiring others. My why is pulling that old me that I see in somebody else, wrapping my arms around them virtually, and pulling them up and helping them on their journey. Prior to me starting to document my journey here on YouTube, prior to me starting to care about my health, let's be honest, prior to me moving forward to become the person that God has for me to be, I was still pouring into others. I always love pouring into others. But guess what? Along that way, I wasn't pouring into myself. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't monitoring my health, but I was monitoring everybody else's. And I was making sure they were good, but I wasn't doing that for me. I wasn't doing the same for me. And that's my purpose. That's my why. I want to pull somebody else up, help somebody else along the way while still making sure that I'm okay. I want to inspire and motivate. But like I said, today. So this morning, my daughter, she's in basketball and she does not like she'll run while she's playing basketball, but she doesn't like running right now, or in the past. She doesn't like running a whole mile. So every Friday the team is running a mile in the morning. And she dreads it every morning. Was it last week or the week prior? She had a horrible timing, pace. And this morning, she went out there and she ran this is good. This is good for her, a 13-minute mile. And I still am ecstatic and happy for her. That's what it's all about. Inspiring others, pushing others, and pulling somebody else up out of whatever negativity, whatever doubt, whatever fear that they have. That's what I'm here for. And if you're here for that, and if you feel that I can help you in some type of way with that, just hang around. I'm going to continue to share my life because that's what I love to do. But through that, I'm going to be sharing my health and wellness journey in vlogs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share GLP-1 content, but it's going to be in a different way, as where I'm not sharing statistics. I mean, I will talk about it, but I'm not going to have a formal way of sharing my statistics on my GLP-1 videos, but I will share my journey with you through those videos, but also talk about different topics that can help others while they're on their GLP-1 journey. For instance, like I said, I did the preserving muscle mass thanks to Tamika for asking me that. I recently did the blood sugar one thanks for Newly McGriff, 1494. And I am going to do one on maintaining on a GLP-1, and I'm going to go further. So if you have any questions about my GLP-1 journey or a topic around GLP-1 or in general, just with my health and wellness, then let me know in the comment section below, and I'll definitely try to do a video of it. I don't know what this is, but I'll definitely try to do a video of it and share that with the community. But I enjoyed when I was actively trying to lose weight. I enjoy doing those weekly videos like that. But I think it's more than that. Over here, it's more than that. Just seeing how much weight I lost on a weekly basis, it's more than, for me, it's more than that. And I hope I can inspire somebody along the way with the content that I produce here forth with my Mounjaro journey or my GLP-1 journey, with my health and wellness journey, because I want to help somebody not forget about themselves in this journey. And you can't forget about yourself, because if you forget about yourself, then you're doing all this in vain. And you want whatever you're doing to be something that you can sustain for the long haul. I'm working on that with myself, and I hope that you would try to work on that for yourself too. And my purpose, I believe, is to help someone along the way to understand that and to be inspired to do that. We can strive to be the perfect weight. We can strive to have the A1C, which is good. I'm all for that now. I'm all for that. We can strive to have the best A1C there is. We can strive to have the best shaped body, and I'm working on that too. But if our insides mindset is not there, then we're not going to be able to sustain it. And I say we because I'm including myself in all this. This video is long enough. I can talk on and on about that. But if you feel that this video has helped you, I know that it may help somebody else. So definitely share it with someone who you feel that it may help. We are here. I just wanted to kind of, I really wanted to come on here to give you an update on my GLP-1 journey, where I'm at. I'm on 7.5 milligrams, maintaining bi-weekly at 163 point something right now. My A1C is 5.4 as of June of 2025. But I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And I hope that you are too. I am here to cheer you on. You got this. We definitely got this together. Hit the subscribe button. If you're here to stay, you are now a wellness warrior. Once you tap that button, even if you didn't tap it, you're still a wellness warrior, because you are navigating these internet streets trying to find ways to better yourself. So I applaud you for that. I thank you guys. I love you guys. I'll definitely touch on more topics in upcoming videos. So let me know, like I said, in the comment section below, if you have something that you want me to expound on. I'll see you in the next vlog or the next video, and God bless.